What a beautiful fall day. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. My name is Kim, and I live in Southwest Ohio. I am in Zone 6B. Used to be 6A, is 6B today, and it is a beautiful fall morning. Today is October 13th, I believe, and yes, today is the 13th. And I am just outside taking care of a few things, and I'm going to show you a few things while I'm out here. It's super early in the morning. The sun is still trying to come up, but I need to take care of some things, and you're just coming with me. I am headed over to this beautiful sunshine, over to my neighbor's garden. My neighbor is out of town, and he asked me to water the garden for him, and that's the least I can do, as much as they've done for me. And I want to keep that harvest coming for him as long as we can. But he doesn't have much left over here. He has this green stalk here full of cool season crops. There's some lettuce and some kale and that kind of stuff in there. And some digging from some kind of animals, probably squirrels trying to hide all of their nuts this time of year. And he has this green stalk over here. Boy, that sun is gorgeous. Look at that sun coming up. He has this green stalk over here, which doesn't have much left in it. It's mostly cleaned out, not much left in it for the year. But there is a bloom. There's a bloom for a eggplant that's not going to make it. But I am going to give these green stalks a nice watering this morning. Stepping on over into the garden, which Miss Pam has cleaned out very nicely. There's some lettuce right there that I'm going to need to get thinned out this week, and I'll probably move it all into one of the green stalks so we can completely shut down that bed. We have we have peppers over here. These are those yummy peppers that we grow. They're a snacking pepper. We started them from seeds, and the seeds were actually 10 years old, and they were harvested from this garden 10 years ago. She's pulled up all of the celery, it looks like, except for one head back there. And y'all, I grow way too much celery. This whole bed was practically full of celery. And I didn't need to dehydrate any because I still have a 3-year supply from last year. But I grew it for fresh eating, and they're down to one head here. And I think I have one left over in my green stalk. But the fall garden is in. What little bit we're going to put in, let me show you what we got. There are a couple kale plants right there that we added late in the season. And everything else you see is already gone out of this bed. These are collard greens that have been going all year long, and I need to probably get those picked this week. There's a few peppers left over there. There's a pepper way in the back, and there's one right there. Leftover peppers. I'm going to get on this side so you can see that sunlight hitting off of these tomatoes here. But there are red tomatoes, y'all. These tomatoes look good over here. There's like a half dozen red tomatoes. There are still green tomatoes over here as well. Their tomatoes look better than mine does in my garden. We've picked all of the cabbage except for just a couple heads. There's a couple left over here. And we picked all of the purple cabbage last week, so that's all good. I have 2 kohlrabi over here. That's all that made it. Maybe 3. There's a third one back there, so there's 3 kohlrabi over here that we might get something out of. And that's about it, y'all. That's it. That's all that's left. So the only thing I need to do over here is water, and this week take care of this lettuce here, get it thinned out and relocate that lettuce probably into the green stalks since I have open pockets ready to go in the green stalks. But let's get this watering done really quickly. Oh, quick connect. There we go. That made it easy. So now let me get the water turned on. My neighbor is very adamant about keeping the lids on the green stalks all season long. He does better at that than I do. I'm horrible at it. But he keeps the lids on to make sure that no trash is in any of his green stalks or my green stalks. Um, yep, it's nice and clean in there. And honestly, the pockets are not really that dry, but we'll give it a good watering anyway. If you don't know much about green stalks, I have a green stalk playlist. It'll tell you all about it if you're interested in one of these vertical planters. I have a total of 13 green stalks, and I do count the two over here. These are mine that I put in place for him. Um, but you can grow so much food in them. I mean, so much food. But to water these, you just water them from the top. You don't have to water each of the pockets. You water from the top, and the water will run through the entire system and come out the bottom. And I fertilize these about every 2 weeks with a liquid fertilizer, but I call it a low and slow fertilizer during the regular season. But now that we're already into the fall season and we're kind of slowing down, I probably won't fertilize these anymore this year, but I will keep everything alive that's in here for now. And we've grown a lot of stuff in these green stalks. When you're not using your green stalks, they are great in the elements. I leave these set up, well, at least that one over there, I left set up all winter long. This one was actually indoors in my indoor grow space last year, but I left it sitting there all winter long. I didn't take it down. I didn't take the dirt out of it or anything like that until I was ready to replant it. And then I, refreshed the soil and put all the amendments and that kind of stuff in it. But they are supposed to be good in the weather. They're made in the US. I mean, so they're made locally, if you know what I mean. And I love them. And I have a ton of them because I love them. And like I said, the links are below. And there is a discount code below as well if this is something you're interested in purchasing. But today, I'm just trying to get the garden watered before the family gets up. This is my time of the day, y'all. I get to enjoy the morning. It's quiet. It's before the hustle and the bustle of the day. I mean, there's nobody out here but me and the squirrels, basically. Yeah, last weekend, I harvested all of the oregano from here, as well as the parsley. I harvested all of the parsley as well. Let me show you something if I don't wait too long. So I watered this green stalk only from the top, but in between, and I don't know if you can even see it or not, but every one of these levels are being watered. Every level is getting watered. It's just running right through every layer. Every level is being watered. And all I did was put water in the top and it's dripping down to every level. All right. So this one's good. Water's running out the bottom. Let's come back over to this one. I'm going to add a little more water to this one. This one has more plants in it, so it's absorbing a lot more of the water than that one over there that's practically empty. He's got a cabbage over here that needs to be harvested. Oops. I can hear the water running down through it, and I see it getting ready to come out the hose. So we know we are good on this one as well. It's like gurgling through. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I was trying to get close so you could hear the water gurgle. All right. So we're going to connect back. So I've connected back to the drip irrigation. So let's go over and look at that drip irrigation too. Sun is still doing amazing. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful day. All right, the drip irrigation. So I have drip irrigation in every bed except for this one. But in here, I just have the little drip irrigation running through the bed. I put a little extra in the back here. So that brown tubing is drip irrigation, or drip emitters is what it is. And I have them going through all the beds, even in this one here. So when this bed was full of many different things, it was getting the drip irrigation. Same thing in this bed here. The only difference in my neighbor's garden versus my garden is that I didn't put shut-off valves to each of the beds in his garden. And so when I turn the drip irrigation on, I'm turning it on to everything. I didn't put that in at the time. I may need to go back and do that. But I am getting about a gallon of water, I believe it is, an hour with the type of drip irrigation I use. It's doing what it needs to do. I can see the water dripping from the different lines. And some of them have tons and tons of drip irrigation in it, because last year I did leafy greens in that bed. So I put extra drip irrigation over there, and there's a ton of brown tubing over there. Where this one only has just a little bit because of what I had planted in here last year. And I should have changed it up, but I didn't. But since I only have 2 plants in here, I am going to work on it just a little bit, just to bring it in a little closer to what we're trying to water. And I've sprung a leak. My hose has a leak in it over here. That won't get fixed this year. That's another year. I won't be fixing that. It looks like it got clipped. Yeah, I won't be fixing that this year. But it looks like water is still getting to all the beds, even though I got a little leak here. So I'm not going to worry about it this year. I'm just going to have to remind myself next year I'm going to have to do some maintenance on the drip irrigation in my neighbor's beds. Thanks for hanging out with me as I'm watering and tending to my neighbor's garden, and talking a little bit about GreenStalks, helping you just in case you're interested. Now's a good time to purchase those if you want to give a gift to a loved one in the upcoming holiday season. But just wanted to spend a little time with you this morning while I'm doing some work with my neighbor. I love these. I love these. Anyway, if you enjoyed hanging out with me, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Anytime I'm in the garden, I'm showing you what I'm doing. Even if it's just watering, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. I haven't even had coffee yet, y'all. Catch you soon. Bye. That's good.